It's only because it's like behind my ear, so it looks darker. Thank you. It's the same hair, just you're not seeing the blonde piece in the front. That's all. What is that? Hi, Thomas. Hi, user. Hi. Is it Patrice? What's happening? This looks important, CJ. Do I look like I mean business over here? Hi, Heather. How are you? Hi, Raw. Good to see you too. Come to Coachella with me next year. I didn't even know what Coachella was. Obviously, TikTok taught me. I'm like asking my daughter, I'm like, what is even Coachella? Am I like so out of date with things? Did you ever have dreams about what you were manifesting? Um, it's funny, Raw. Like I would have dreams, like when my, yes, I guess so, but never exact dreams, right? Sometimes I would have dreams that would actually like be my reality, would actually happen. I remember when I first started learning this, I had a lot of dreams because I always talk about how I was jumping timelines. So I was like having dreams of me in college, like actually in school, because that was one of the things that I was going to do. And I actually went pretty, like, was actually doing it. I was in the process of that. I should do a middle part. I had a middle part for so long, and I don't know, I just went to a side part and never went back. Hi, Joseph. I don't believe in using credit cards charging stuff to buy stuff. Yeah, Donald, I hear you there. That's a never ending trap loop, too, right? I'm having dreams of money. Yeah, well, that's always like, I mean, gosh, like that's the best, right? That I always say, like, for me, I feel like I only ever have positive dreams, which is good, right? And let's just say I had a bad dream ever around anything. I never put bad meaning on it. I never placed any meaning on it. Like I always compare it to like if your kids come to you and say they have a bad dream, you just say it's just a dream, right? How so far so good, Joseph. How about yours? Hi, Jordan. Hi, Alan. All right, that sounds amazing. Just reading started to stop paying attention to reading. Well, that's awesome, bold. Yeah. So like, yeah, it kind of like grabs our attention sometimes, bold. And I always say like when not paying attention to the 3D. For me, it's more so like the way I explain manifesting in my life has been, where I'm at is where I'm at, and I make the best of where I'm at, and that's how I've seen the best improvements in my life, like in the results of manifesting, but also just in my peace in my world by just accepting where you're at and knowing that you're moving towards more in every single moment. And it's a little bit different than doing it like where you're trying to persist in something. That always just caused me so much resistance. So through trial and error, I just realized that just never worked for me. Aha, that's amazing, Dream. I love that. I need a day like that. Yes, Raw. Like the same way, Raw, like if you start seeing money, right? Like on the ground or pennies or dimes or quarters, like even that is like it's a manifestation in itself, right? There you go, Donald. teaches the art of flow and non-reaction. Oh, okay, roll. That like similar to kind of what I say, right? Hi, Matt. How are you, Matt? I just found the best way to go about it is by you just making it about each, because there only is the now moment, right? So the more you understand this, the more, again, I always try to remind people like every possible reality exists in this very moment anyway, right? As long as you know you're moving towards that, whether it be specific or not, that's all that matters, is that you know that, and then you're making the best of this current reality. And that's how Abraham teaches it as well. Yeah, and Eckhart Tolle too, right? Yes, bro. We said it at the same time, I think. User, I didn't think up of any good credentials yet for you. I have to get on that. The power of now. Yeah, and it's so true. But I believe that, it's at first, you're like, what do you mean the power of now? And you're just like so hooked on these things being so real. And I think you have to understand a little bit that these things aren't real. Like they're not so real in your reality, and they will start to change when your inner world starts to change, right? When you start just resting into that moment and practicing non-reaction and seeing things change, like they do start to fade off. I think you have to go through that process of understanding first. Otherwise, you're like, what do you mean? What do you mean like all these things, everything's going to change? This is so real. How is this going to change in my life? And people find themselves arguing with it, which that in itself is reacting. So you have to understand how this all works at first. What do you think your greatest life looks like? I don't know, Dream. That's a really good question. Whenever people ask me questions like that, because I think I don't try to think too much about like anything that might cause me resistance, Dream, if that makes sense. And I don't like to get too specific, again, for anything that's going to cause me resistance. I also don't like to jump too far ahead. But I will say, Dream, for me, it would be more so, oh, there's a question here. It's Heather. Hold on, let me talk to Dream. For me, it's definitely some like being in the middle of nowhere, plenty of land and just like quiet and peace and, constant like growth and expansion on my part, right? And I don't know, whatever comes of that as well. Writing my books. I love writing my books. I'm sorry, Heather. I just wanted to answer that. And a simple life, I would say, more so, Dream. I have my tennis luncheon tomorrow, and I'm so nervous walking in alone. Oh, Heather. So I know that feeling, right? Whenever you're walking in and you're just feeling like that. So I would start, like, you could even kind of prepare yourself ahead of time, Heather, right? And like, because I know, so I'm trying to like relate it to a scenario that I've been in before for you to like kind of give you a good example. That sounds peaceful. Let me think of a good answer for you, Heather. Crack my window a little bit. Yes. So definitely like prepare yourself ahead of time, like calm your mind ahead of time, Heather. Maybe even do some breath work ahead of time, Heather. Like that's something that I would do. Like I would quiet my mind. I would quiet my thoughts as much as possible, but also add breath work, because if you're having some anxiety before that, quieting your thoughts might cause your mind's going to probably be going. So I would say like listen to like some type of soft noise and do a little bit of breath work before you go. Definitely breath work, Heather, because you know what breath work can do for you? It builds your energy up. So it gives you like positive energy, right? So quiet your mind first, listen to like a sound, and then do the breath work to like build up that positive energy. So you'll be more like excited, right? And release the anxiety. But and you know what? And Heather, and also look at it as an opportunity, right? For you to like be able to practice this in those moments, to practice remaining calm when you're walking in there, and to practice like breathing slow when you walk in there, and hold, that confident, like hold yourself up high when you walk in, and practice that, right? Practice, focus on your breathing when you walk in there, centering yourself in that moment. So use this as a opportunity for yourself, right? And you'll be so proud of yourself, right? You'll be like, oh my gosh, I did it, and focused on my breathing. And that people try to like jump in and do lives with me. It's so crazy. Yeah, so that's what I always think of, Heather. Whenever I'm walking into a situation that's not familiar, I always like focus on my breathing. I center myself as much as possible. I kind of like, because when you're centering yourself, focusing on yourself in those moments, and not only that, but you're using it as an opportunity, that alone can help you. Just say, I'm using this as an opportunity to help me with anytime I ever have to walk into these situations, right? Hi, Allie. So that would be the same for you, Jake, right? Like we use these opportunities to help us, hype ourselves up in those moments, right? And be like, this is an opportunity for me to walk in and, be confident in those moments, secure in those moments. And it's like, it's practicing that. Hi, Matt. Right? Because like, I always think to myself, like, you're always saying to yourself things like, whenever you're feeling anxiety or whenever you're triggered or anything like that, it's just an impulse. It's just for you to say, okay, to take a step back and say, what's the best way to deal with this right now? That's what those, triggers are there for. That's why I always say you can't mess anything up when you know this information, because you're always making the best of every moment, no matter what it is, no matter what's happening. Right. So even these old stories like that, these unfavorable things that pop up in this moment, it's an opportunity in those moments to calm yourself down and get yourself to a better place. Right. So you can respond from a good place. Hi, SNDND. I didn't know how to say your name on there. Did I say hi to everybody? Christine, Heather, Matt, just making sure I didn't dream. I didn't miss anyone when I was yapping. Nothing is personal. We need to change the. Yeah, dream. And that's important too, right? To always remind yourself that, like, nobody, if you ever feel like you're offended in any way or you're ever feeling attacked, you're not. It's just you taking it personal in that moment. It's never about you, right? And it's just a moment for you to get calm, come from that good place, that kind place, and just leave that where it's at and keep moving on with your life, right? Hi, Nathan. Because anything else is us matching it. And that's where it's like a little, like, it takes practice to understand that. Hi, crypto. Like, we don't like you. I always think of it as matching energy. What am I matching in this moment? So like, even when people come to me and they say like, my life is this in my life, and they come to me like with that kind of in that kind of mood, I'm not doing them a service by matching that and saying, I know that it's so hard and you're feeling bad for people, and that's like people in your life as well. You're not doing people a service if you're matching that, right? You can still be there for people, but you want to be there in a higher energy and just say, I know you got this. I know you can do this. So I always say, like, be careful about what you're matching, even when that happens, right? When someone comes to you and they're like, oh my gosh, I need your help. You need, like, and that's, you're there for them, but you want to make sure you're in a positive state when you're there for them, in a more uplifting, supportive state, right? Do you kind of get what I'm saying? And this also goes for our kids too, for any parents. Be careful where you're matching your children as well. I know we want to, like, when our kids are sad, we just want to like scoop them up and just like cry with them, but we want to make sure we're being that example by being that uplifting support to them and letting them be able to process their emotions as well, if that makes any sense. Definitely takes practice, without a doubt. Yeah. And Christine, that sounds so cold, but you are being supportive. You're being supportive by remaining in that higher energy, right? Because otherwise you're not able to be supportive. You're just matching that, right? And only because I know it through coaching and stuff, and how like you're not really helping anyone, and you're just kind of repeating cycles over and over again. And it kind of gets to that point where it's like, you can give people advice, but it's up to them to take the advice and act on it, right? Kind of. And it's a tricky topic sometimes. And again, it's just practice like anything. Like being there and not you're not being mean to anyone or anything like that. That's not what it's about. Hi, in alignment. How are you? Hi, Mike. Not the ladies meeting. Thank you. Hi, BB. How are you? Doing well. How are you? It's a okay evening here. It's still raining again. I think tomorrow is going to be finally the sunshine's going to come out. So I'm kind of excited for that, for a nice day. It definitely takes practice. Non-reaction takes practice. Non-reaction takes practice. That's why a lot of times people will say like, I'm not seeing any changes in my life and nothing's changing. And I'm always trying to, help them understand that it's not something that changes in your reality right away. It's an internal shift at first. You'll know because these unfavorable stories will still continue to show up, but you're going to realize that you're completely unbothered by them, and they do lose their power. And the more that you respond from a higher energy, you realize how it shows up in a kinder energy as well. It's hard to explain, but is it normal not have feelings anymore after manifesting, or feel indifferent? So I don't know what you mean by manifesting, because the way I explain manifesting is you're not manifesting anything, right? Because everything is done. So if I'm taking it that you've been manifesting something, that you've been doing techniques to manifest, and now you're just like over it type thing, or you're just like, that's what I'm thinking your question is. But from my experience, that's not how I explain manifesting. So I explain manifesting more as it's already done. So you're not really doing anything to manifest, right? You're focusing on this current reality and making the best of this current reality. And that's when manifestations kind of gradually start showing up in your reality very naturally. So that's like more how I explain it. No, Heather, that is like so amazing. And I know what you mean. I have kids as well, right? We have kids and all our kids are different, and they're all learning as well. And they're learning how to navigate life as well, right? And, we're learning too now because we're all awake to this information. And like each one of my kids are so different. So it's really about understanding, but I have to understand it to be able to, be that example for them in those moments. It is so helpful, though. It is so helpful. Yeah, that's it, Dream, right? And I always make it more about each moment for me. I'm always checking in with what's the best decision. So for me, it's if I find myself dropping in a lower energy, that's a trigger. I feel like that's an impulse to ask myself, okay, what should I do right now before it gets worse, right? So I'm like, what should I do right now? Should I do this or that? so it'll be like, oh, should I go for a drive or should I clean my house? Like, that's what I always say. Like, ask yourself in those moments when you find yourself dropping. And that's how you get ahead of it. That's how you stop a spiral from happening. When you find yourself dropping even just a little bit, that's why it's good to make it about how you feel, because you'll start catching these moments so much quicker and you'll be ahead of it, right? Hi, Ava. Right? It's so true. And alignment. We like, you're there for them when they need you, but they have their own, their own path as well, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means either, Nathan. Hold on 1 second. What you doing? 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 I wanted to put my jacket around my hip because it was actually getting kind of warm in my house. I think tomorrow's going to be like in the 60s, but it's still a little like chilly and rainy. Yeah, I wasn't sure I'm not sure what he meant. Oh God. Love this necklace, but it like goes sideways on me and it drives me nuts. It's chilly there, Ava. It's been so rainy, Ava. It's been like 4 or 5 days. It feels like a whole month of rain. I don't think I don't know. I'm trying to get comfortable. Yeah, stream. It's the only way to be, right? How about you, Dream? What's your ideal future look like? I love like, for me it's like that, having that freedom to be able to do what I want when I want to do it, right? Like, not being tied down by anything, or like being having to be forced to do things. It's nice to be like, oh, would I like to do this right now, or would I like to do that? Oh, there you go, Ava. That's a good one. Yes. Not feeling like you have to, nobody wants to do something if they have to do it, right? Like, I think that's where like work got to me so much, because it was like you felt like you had to do it. And then, oh, God forbid you ask for a vacation. It's like that in itself was anxiety times 10, because like, God forbid, like I used to think, oh, what if they, and I didn't know any of this information, right? So I'm like, what if they tell me no? And what do I do if they tell me no and I can't go on my vacation? Right now, relaxing. I do a couple side things, but coaching, I opened up my coaching again, and writing, and I still do hair as well. I have a couple things that I do. I'm a mom. Does that count? Life gets so pleasurable when you go from moments to moment, doing only one key. It's so true, Ava. It's so, and I can be like, and I can look back and see how much my life has changed in that process alone, being having that freedom, right? Hi, Lex. Of course. I I posted another. I was inspired to make a meditation today of the beach sounds because that's how my life has been here. It's been so rainy. I was like, I need to listen to like the beach or like the birds chirping or something. So that's the meditation that I uploaded today. It was for me. So that's the thing. Like when I share almost everything. I share like my ideas, my meditations on here with you guys. Like that most of the stuff, it's all from my experience, right? I missed that one. I don't feel like scrolling up. What's up? What's up? What's up? My little dog. She tap dancing. You know what, Ray? Like there's so many things that I cut out though that I always felt were so necessary, and I was always very organized and like everything had to like flow a certain way. But I cut so much stuff out that was unnecessary in my life. And I don't really even live like that anymore where it's like I got to be do this and I got to do that and it's got to be structured and it's got to be a certain way. Like it's kind of like living in the moment more so in the present moment, being okay with with how things change, right? And things are always changing and change is good, right? Not being so stuck on like a routine too much either. Jefferson's. Here, when you want to get a sunny mood, try to search on. Okay, I will, Ava. That's a really good idea, though, just to look up different places on YouTube. And you think about that, Ava, that's why I say like those kinds of things just kind of happen. Like people talk about visualization, all that. Now, like you look up, you said do that on YouTube, and I'll go look that up on YouTube, and I'll be watching videos of that for how long, and that'll be like because I tell you guys, I don't really scroll through social media. I don't really watch TV or anything. Like I'll start scrolling, and I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna meditate instead, right? And like then you get yourself into like a visualization, and those things all just happen very naturally. Me too, Dream. I'm with you. You know, it's funny. I used to say things like before I knew any of this information. I used to say, like, oh, I'm just happy and grateful for my life now. So that's why I always talk about this. I was always very positive, guys, but like I was very limited into what I believed I could experience, right? I used to just say, oh, I'm just grateful for what I have and I'm just appreciative for what I have. And I don't need to travel places. I'm okay with that, and that's when like, you start, well, that's when started feeling stuck in my life. And I'm like, started asking questions like, is this really all life has to offer? And that's when I became aware of all the information. Hi, Alma. But say you're running errands, do whatever is faster on your way. But say you're running errands, do whatever's faster. How to ask and receive for clarity on decision making. So, Alma, what I usually do for myself is I'll ask, like, I'll get really quiet. I'll get really quiet when I have a question or I need clarity around something. And, I'll still my energy as much as possible. And I'll kind of just sit in silence, listen to a fan noise, and just get as still as I can in that moment. Like maybe even focus on my breathing, not really breath work, just really stilling and slowing down my energy, Alma. And sometimes I'll just open up my phone and I'll get the answer right away, or it'll just kind of come to me, right? Or it might come throughout the day, right? So you'll kind of like, sometimes it'll happen just like that, when I'm really stilling my energy and kind of depending on the question itself, right? And so kind of just, that you set that intention, and like people always say, do you have to let it go? So, like I said, sometimes I come right out of a meditation and I literally get the answer like right away. So just know that when you're asking that, like you're getting quiet and you're stilling your energy, you're going to be led to it. Just don't worry about when or how it's going to happen. You'll know. Trust me, you'll know. Hi, Lions. Long time no see. And Oma, I think it's good to practice that, because I think that's where, for me, a lot of my inspired impulses come from, is when I stop and I say, what would be best to do right now? And I get really quiet and still. And I always get this impulse to just, and I always use the example of just take a ride to the store, right? And it's always like, just go do it. Don't question it. Don't overthink it. Don't think, but what if this or but what if that? Just do it, because it will lead you to the next best thing. So trust those inspired. Don't overthink those inspired impulses. Get comfortable with going within and getting clarity on what would be best to do right now, and trusting that quick impulse and following that quick impulse. Get used to that, because that will lead you to, like I said, that keeps leading you to the next best thing. But a lot of times we overthink that impulse. And we think, well, what if this, and what if this happens? And maybe I shouldn't do that. Or maybe do you know kind of what I'm saying? Even though they're little things that you might be doing, it's helping you. It's going to help you overall with other things as well. Oh, good, Alma. Yeah. And me too, Ava. Like, honestly, Ava, yes, me too. Yes, you're so right that you say that, because that actually happened to me today when something came up. And it's almost like a toss up of what, like that would have been going back to my old patterns, Ava. Something popped up today in my reality, and I had to get quiet as well. And it was, well, if you do this, you're going to go back to your old patterns. So just know that not doing that is you moving forward, right? So in that moment, I got that clarity as well. So I know exactly what you mean by that. Yes, you will get clarity on not what to do as well, which to me is so awesome, right? Because it's all about what feels best, right? It might have felt good to do that, and it might have felt rewarding to do that thing, but that was going to keep me in an old pattern. It would be best for me not to do that, to keep moving forward, if that makes any sense, which I think you get better at understanding that as time goes by. But I'm glad you said that, Ava, because yes, that's so true. Right, Ava? It's so true, and it actually happened to me today. Yeah, BB, inspired impulses to me, like for me, it's not, I know it is action, it is action, but it's not forced action. And that's how I like to explain it to people, because forced action is from our programming, right? Where we felt like we had to do things, and you're exerting so much energy in order to do things. Where this inspired impulse is more of like, it's quick. It's like, just go take a ride to the store right now. And like whenever I would do that, it always led to me to something better. It actually happened to, most recently, I noticed it very clearly, was me taking a ride, getting my drink, and doing these lives. That's when it really was loud to me. Like, go do it. Don't question it. Don't doubt it. Don't overthink it. Right? I know, Ava. It's so true. So true. And so amazing at the same time. Even for doing these lives, like I sat down and I said, it's either sit here and do really nothing, because again, I don't really love TV. I would find myself scrolling. And I'm like, you know what? I'm doing my live, because that's better in this moment. That felt more inspired. Yes, dream. And you think about it, it's always happening, right? Like life's always happening and it's always unfolding. What even is that? I don't even know sometimes. I don't even know sometimes, Nathan. when I, let's say, do work, but I don't feel like I'm working at all. Yes. They vanish so fast. I even didn't vanish. Right? I know. These guys are so awesome with that. Thank gosh. In full force, Heather. It must be because, is it like because it's Sunday or something? I found myself leaving my home to walk in the park, scroll on TikTok, go grab food, refreshers. Yeah, I mean, I'll like get up and like I don't like to sit too long. I get like I don't, and if I do, I don't like to lay down because then I just get like lazy, or I just like don't like that feeling. And it's okay if you're resting. I think there's a time and a place for it, but I don't like to get past that point. So like I'll prefer to sit up, right? And then I don't like to sit too long. So like I'll get up, and even if I don't have much to do that day, I'll just do, I'll work out or something. I'll do like a little workout or something like that. Or I'll do more push-ups, or I'll sit down and I'll do sit-ups. Like just something to keep my body moving. It's not like because I don't have to do anything. It's just, I also don't like to sit, and I don't want to scroll. So like I'll listen to meditation sounds and do like a workout or something, right? Yeah, I'm wondering, Alma, did you get the refresher idea from me? I think I got so many people hooked on refreshers. And no, I don't sponsor Dunkin'. Dream's trying to get me sponsored. They haven't contacted me yet, Dream. I'm just gonna invent my own strawberry drink so I can have it all the time. April, you can't mess your manifestations up, even when you're having resistance and you're having. Now, just know, like, because you're thinking negative thoughts, it doesn't mean they're going to manifest into your reality. They're not going to. A negative thought isn't going to manifest. You're just going to, if you keep thinking about it long enough, yeah. But April, a little bit of resistance, having those negative thoughts is not going to. It's not enough charge, especially with you knowing this information now and you practicing it. That's why I say even just doing breath work is gonna quiet it down, right? It has to be very, very like consistent thinking of it over and over again, April, and you got to be giving it that charge and emotion for that to manifest, right? You get evidence of it. The evidence is just that you keep thinking about it, right, at first. And you may get evidence of it in your world a little bit, but not in front of you. It might be just through your phone, seeing a video, right? Do you kind of get what I'm saying, April? I think as soon as people started like understanding that your thoughts create your reality, people just went in a full panic. And that's the biggest thing out there is that, oh my God, I'm having negative thoughts. They're going to manifest. What's the most important thing about manifestation? The most important thing about manifestation is that you're never going to be able to stop manifesting. So it's not about manifesting. It's about finding peace in the present moment more so, because you're never going to be able to stop, right? And just knowing that every possible reality exists, the best version of everything. So don't worry about manifesting something. Worry about making peace with this current reality, making the best of this current reality. I know that might not be an exact answer, but that would be my best answer. It takes a lot of practice for sure. Yeah, April, it does. But just find peace, April, in knowing that just because you're having a day in lower energies or negative thoughts, find peace in knowing that they're not manifesting. You know way too much for those thoughts to manifest. Even like I said, even if you're just doing a little bit of breath work here and there while those thoughts are hanging around you, they're not manifesting. So release that resistance and just knowing that. Racing in my running career, I knew I had to train at least 6 days a week to compete. Oh, wow, Ray. You give such good energy. Oh, thanks, Phil. You know that I'm saying it takes a lot of... It takes a lot of practice at first, but April it'll get so much easier. It will, I promise. I don't know how, and nothing is working. You don't know how, user, you just understand that it's already done. You're moving towards it right now. The most important thing about manifestation is not working on manifestation. Yes, Ava, that is the best answer. Ava says the most important thing about manifestation is not working on manifestation. That's the best answer. I'm voting Ava's as the best answer. So about this question, user, I want to manifest a husband and I don't know how and nothing is working. You're not manifesting a husband because that reality already exists, okay? You're moving towards it in this very moment. And my best advice to manifesting a relationship is focusing on you and feeling good without the relationship, which means you're filling up your own cup. You're becoming the best version of you without it. And that's how you're going to attract the best partner for you, okay? So trust me, it is working. But it's about you filling up your own cup. Getting to a place where you're just so happy, you're just so happy in your own life, in your own everyday life. Right, Nathan? And then everything kind of is just ease and flow, right? Same thing, Sib. Same thing. Every possible reality exists in this very moment, guys. Like every possible reality. You're an infinite being. There's no other way to explain it. Every possible reality. So as soon as you think of something, if you want to experience it and you have a strong desire, you're moving towards it right now. If that's what you want, just know it's done. You're moving towards it. And the goal is to not manifest it though. Don't keep manifesting. Don't keep doing things to get it. Just focus on you. Focus on making the best of this current reality. That's what's going to lead you to it in the best way possible. So it's really about taking your attention off the manifestation as much as you can. It can pop in your mind, but you want to say, oh, it's done. I don't have to focus on that. What can I do now? What can I do now that feels good? Yes, and alignment is right. Don't manifest outcomes because you don't have to either, right? Not only does it cause resistance, but you don't have to, because the best outcome your logical mind could never think of, right? And I think to me that releases so much resistance, knowing I don't have to think about anything or the way things are going to unfold, right? Hi, Drop. How are you? I've been focusing on myself for a year or two and still nothing. So, but user, like those kind of comments, they speak for themselves. You're still in that, you still have that emptiness still just by your comment, right? And that's still resistance. That's still you reacting. So you still want to bring that energy back into yourself. Keep asking yourself, what can I do in this present moment? What will be best in this present moment? The more you do this practice of saying what would be best in this moment, you're gonna start to feel more fulfilled on your own, right? You're not gonna feel that emptiness that you're feeling right now. That's a good thing, Mike. Yeah, that's a good thing. It doesn't ruin it, user, if it feels good and if it feels natural and you're kind of just falling into it. No, there's nothing wrong with visualization or any of those things at all. It's all about how you feel though, because if you're doing it and you're feeling lack around it, or you're still feeling lack in that area, then you're probably forcing the visualization. You're probably doing it to get something. You don't ever want to do something to get something. That causes resistance. But if you're doing it because it's very natural and it's just happening and it feels good, yes, of course, you can't stop yourself from visualizing. That's your human nature as well. Manifestations will appear so fast when you feel like you don't need any. I know, it's so true, Ava. It's like I call it like that. It's an oxymoron, right? It's like you really got to get to a place, if you really want your life to start unfolding in amazing ways and start seeing those things roll in, just keep getting yourself to a place of peace in the now moment. No problem, user. And you can, if you need help with resistance at all, check out my videos in my playlist that are really helpful. You can just run them and meditate. I don't know if you do meditate, but I always recommend meditation, breath work, and if anything, watch my videos on release resistance, especially if you kind of already understand like how this works and stuff. Hi, Sally. I know, Nathan. Oh, of course, and alignment. Yous are a part of my journey too. Oh, here comes my dogs. My dogs are giving me the eye. They're giving me the side eye. I do a recommendation of no medication. But like I say, you guys are without a doubt a part of my journey as well. I do a recommendation of no medication. 1 second, guys. My animals are saying let me out. I'll be right back. Oh, look, I didn't miss anything. I'm making a run for it. It's so rainy. Oh, I feel the same way about you, Dream. All you guys. Tanning here. Are you saying, Ray, that you're tanning? Did you get hailed on? Oh gosh. The hail is like, oh my gosh, it hailed here not too long ago, and it was like, that's dangerous. Like people that are walking outside. Very helpful. Oh. Guys, like I share this information because it helps me get better at sharing this information, right? I always say look back at the way like how different I was a year ago at explaining this and how, you're always evolving and always changing and learning more, getting clear on these aspects and concepts, right? And I love talking about this stuff, guys. This brings me so much happiness, trust me. And it even helps me answer questions. Hi, Kevin. Answer questions and then like putting them into my ebooks and stuff like that. And it gets me clear. So it's like one big circle, right? Oh, thanks, Allison. Oh, it's raining. Yeah, I know. I learned so much on here. Yeah. Nathan, you were here from the beginning, right? Did you know about manifesting, Nathan, before my TikToks? I remember asking you to be a moderator or something. I think I actually asked you, the first person I think I asked. Because in the beginning, obviously, like everything's a reflection of where you're at, guys. Like it's so funny when I think back to when I first started my lives and how chaotic it was because like I was still getting used to it. I was still nervous. I wish I would have saved one of my lives from the beginning. Yeah, Nathan was here from the beginning, I'm pretty sure. Is it nice there, BB? I almost don't want to know. Okay. Well, that's cool, right? Like that you learned a lot from it. It was 87. Oh goodness. And Sunny, Heather? Did you dream? I didn't even watch this. That wasn't the first thing like that I watched was The Secret. For me, it was honestly, I think the first thing that stands out from me was probably Joe Dispenza. He was the first person that I listened to. Because of me. Oh, hi, Caro. Do I say that right, Caro? But I did like The Secret. The Secret was cool. Oh, Nathan, do you really? I wish I had it saved. I was definitely nervous. I remember people would come back later and be like, "Oh wow, you're getting better at your lives." I can't even imagine. I think you just get comfortable in your own skin, right? Like doing TikToks is really a like having your own platform is actually can build a lot of confidence. Like I someone said that and I'm like, you know what? That everybody should have a TikTok and start playing around with it even just little by little. My videos started out as not me being on them. It started out as me posting like Joe Dispenza videos and Abraham Hicks videos and stuff like that. Obviously, I used to post on Instagram too. I started out doing Instagram and stuff like that, but they were like I said, like people that knew me. So there was a lot of resistance around doing them with people that know me. Yeah. Yes, Nathan. They were the OGs, Nathan. Did it, Ava? You know who I love? Rhonda. Did you ever watch Rhonda, guys, or Ava? You know, she wrote The Secret. Like, I love her. She has videos on YouTube. I watched her for a while. She's very positive. I just loved her energy. She helped me along with Abraham as well. Rhonda Burns, Nathan, she wrote The Secret. And you know The Secret, right, Nathan? Um, talks about manifestation and all that. Well, Rhonda Burns, she wrote it, and she has a YouTube channel, and it's actually really good. Like she has some really good people that like will ask questions and stuff like that. And I don't really watch them anymore, but I used to, and they were really good. She's so bubbly and just so positive. Isn't she, Ava? She was really quiet for a while, wasn't she? She didn't really start speaking about a lot of that stuff till later. You didn't really see much of her right away. I remember always trying to find her. And I'd be like, where is this Rhonda? Like, I can't find her anywhere. Yeah, she really was quiet. And her story's cool too. And you know that Abraham Hicks guys, does anyone know about that story? Esther was supposed to be on The Secret, but they kind of didn't really they weren't Rhonda said she was supposed to be on it and they said that people weren't really ready for that yet because she channeled. So Caro, for me personally, I don't tell people not to do subliminals, but because I know, like, I'm sure they've worked for people, but they gave me nightmares. So what I do before I go to sleep, Caro, is I play my own voice of affirmations before I go to sleep, but I keep them very general. It's usually just like happiness, joyful, magical. Like they're like probably some of the cheesiest words, but they're just very general, very positive. And that's usually what I go to sleep to be really honest with you, Caro. Do you, Sally? Yeah, so like for me, I mean, I could sleep in silence as well, but I know I just like to go to sleep to like some type of an affirmation or like a fan noise or something. It depends on my sleep pattern. You know, like sometimes I'm like not sleeping right, so that's when I'll start doing like the affirmations or do like a fan noise or something. I've always liked the fan, like the big box fans, like that loud noise. Like I've always liked that loud noise. Right? Oh my gosh. Sally, like I would see that's what I would go to. I'll never forget the time I was going to sleep to Bob Proctor's affirmations of like, you know, he talks about like it was his money affirmations, and I was having the craziest nightmares from it. Like it was just the craziest nightmares, and I was like, oh my God, I can't listen to these. And it's Bob Proctor. I mean, come on, he's awesome. Hi, Mariana. Have you heard of bilateral music? I haven't, Mariana. What is that? Is that something new? I'll tell you what, my son makes amazing beats. The most recent beat that I posted was him. I used it for two things, and I'm going to get him to make me more because they are so good. He does them all by himself. Like he's into music and stuff. So I'm like, make me more of these because they're so good. I'll have to look that one up, Mariana. Because I just love those like cool beats. They catch my ear. Like they help me focus on the beat, right? And quiet my thoughts. Now it's all my hair. I've talked about getting extensions though at times to have it. I want my hair to be like much longer than this. Rhonda's best book is The Greatest Secret. Half of my family is really Ava. The Greatest Secret. Is that an audio also? See, I'm not a reader. And even audios, but maybe that would be good if I like her audio of The Secret. My kids are all teenagers, 18, soon to be 19, 17 and 15. They're grown-ups. He actually is so talented. My oldest son is so talented when it comes to music. So like he played all instruments and he's super positive. This boy, he is super positive. So I really want him to start working. He's still a teenager and he's learning his way through life and stuff. So I always ask him to give me some beats and music. And like he finally gave me one after asking for a while. So he's figuring things out too. He's got a lot of energy. Yeah, you can usually find them, Ava, like on YouTube and stuff, right? Oh my gosh, like every kind of music, Nathan. Like I don't have a specific genre at all. I will go from 90s hip hop to oldies to Christmas music in July. No, Christmas music. Yeah. I I just everything. I'm not picky when it comes to music. It's whatever mood I'm in, right? Like whatever mood, like alternative, like I'll just go back and forth. That's why I like the radio, because like yes, I put the songs into my favorites, but it's nice when a song pops on that you actually forgot about. Yeah, grunge. Like Third Eye Blind, and I'm trying to think. I love that. There's some really good songs from back in the day around that time, like that alternative stuff. I'm going to check that out, Mariana. Thanks for sharing that. Because I just love beats and stuff like that. I like all of them. You know, it's funny, and alignment. You know, songs don't affect me like that. If I if I just know the words and I'm singing it for fun, I don't really it doesn't affect me as if like what it's saying, if that makes sense, right? So, like, for me, it's just listening to music if I'm cleaning my house and singing the songs. But I do like a more positive. I do like more positive. That's why I like the old like oldies. Like I'll pick like Sweet Caroline or Build Me Up Buttercup. Like I'll request those to I don't want to say her name, but you know, because I just know they're upbeat and it's just like good for whatever I'm doing if I'm cleaning or cooking or something. Yes, Counting Crows. Love the Counting Crows. Oh, I'm sure it is, Ava. Like even trying to think of like reggae is really good too. Like that's really upbeat music as well. I don't know the words to Spanish music, but I love the beats to Spanish music. Like it's so upbeat and it's just like it's so fast paced. I have no idea what they're saying, but I like it. That's good dream. That's all positive right there, right? Aw, Cinnabon, I'm so happy to hear that. I love seeing that. That's why a lot of times I go to like Christmas music because it's so like I feel like it's so positive, it's so upbeat. You know, it's like happy music, right? Oh, Motown. Yeah, that's definitely that's an upbeat one too. It's nice to hear other people's like what they like. I wanted to start that in our group. Like post a song that you guys like. Post something interesting that's cool, that's different, right? That like post your favorite song. You know how like your favorite song, you're just like you know everybody's going to love it. You just see them, Alma? Do I dance? Yeah, I dance. If I'm at a party or a wedding, I probably won't even sit. I'll probably dance the whole entire time. I'm definitely that girl. And I'll try to get everybody else to dance too. I went to Motown Studio Museum in Detroit. Ah, that's so cool. Oh, I love Rihanna too. I love Rihanna. No, Dream. I wonder if I have. Is it on TikTok at all? People were asking me why did I come to Detroit? I said for sightseeing. They were shocked. Do you know this song called? Oh yeah, Nathan. We know that. I said we know that. I know that. Um, that is the one when they lost. When Biggie died. That was related to Biggie. Nathan. I'll be missing you. Biggie Smalls passed away. Are you a dancer, Mariana? Oh, do you, Dream? That's so cool. I will see you again. Ah, that's never heard that one. I'm just reading some of these. I'm scrolling up to see any interesting song choices. Favorite artist right now, Alan Anthony. Oh, you like country, right, Nathan? You're a country boy. Oh, I just finished it, Ava. It was so good. I never want, when I'm drinking my tea, I just never want it to be done. And I put it, like, I fill this to the top. This is up to the top, and I'm still like, oh, God, it's almost gone. Yeah, I remember, Nathan. Do you remember that? That was one of our conversations when we first chatted. Oh, I love hearing that. It does make such a difference, Caro. Caro. I hope I'm saying that right. It's only been a few days though. Yeah. Yeah, you do. You feel lighter, right? You feel lighter. And, like I always say, like it's a practice. It takes practice, but it definitely makes a huge difference. Yeah. I am mellow. Will has the best music frequency. Oh, Dream. See, I didn't even know about that. Carolyn. Okay. Is it Carolyn? Yeah, just like take focusing on your breathing and just moving slower. I just had someone comment on my content today saying that they work in a prison, and they said one of the hardest places to work in. He's like, and your methods have helped me, just stay calm in those scenarios and like stuff like that. Like you don't even think about that kind of stuff, right? It's a whole new world. So what do you look, how do you search that, Dream? Do you search up like manifesting music and you get like all these cool songs that pop up and like you just like listen to them? Because I never even searched up anything like that, like manifesting music or anything like that. Have a good night, Nathan. Thanks again thanks for your service. Thanks for helping us out tonight. It was such a nice quiet night too. I am quick to temper, so it's been great so far. Aw, I love hearing that, guys. I mean, I like people always say, like, have you always been calm? I mean, I had my moments too, right? Like, I would say before I had kids, my kids completely calmed me down. My kids calmed me down so much. My kids changed me for like the best, without a doubt. Yes, but they always had all my for your page, so I look for the songs. Okay, Dream. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out. Oh, do you and alignment? Yeah, so like I put a little headphone in my ear and I'll just listen to, like I said, it's just usually my own affirmations. And I wake up and like in the middle of the night and they're not on. I don't know how long I last with them. I probably roll over. Probably stays in my ear for like 2 minutes. I used to actually fall asleep, and I think this is also very helpful if you have trouble sleeping, saying your affirmations, because you get tired by saying them. Even if you're like saying them in your mind or you're saying them like whispering them, that's also like a good, way to help. But like I always say, try to go general. But if you're going to sleep, you probably really don't have much resistance anyway. But like that always helped me go to sleep, was just saying them over and over again before I would, and then I just fall asleep, right? So that's another really, you know, cool way to help you sleep. You sleep to hurts too? No way, Ava. I do not, I have never been a heavy sleeper. Yeah, and alignment. Yes. I used to do that a lot. I used to do it when I was struggling with certain areas of my life. And I would see drastic changes in my life very quickly by saying things like, I'm always taken care of. I have everything I need. And I would just repeat those ones over and over again. And I would see the results very quickly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, I'm sure you are. It was such a quiet Sunday on here tonight. Do you have a list of general affirmations? I do. I do. Check out I have them in my playlist. Check in my playlist. It says general affirmations. And it's me saying them, but it's just some ideas to help you. Like, of course, when I'm on the spot, I'm always like, just general is like everything's always working out for me. I always love the one, I have everything I need right now. I'm exactly where I need to be right now. I'm always provided for. I'm always taken care of. Like, I like ones like that. But yeah, check out my playlist. It actually says general affirmations. Very true. And alignment. I'm so right. Hi, Nurk. So true. And that's why I'm so strict about that. That's where the only where I would say that I have discipline is like on what I entertain and watch. Now, a lot of it happened very naturally by me, like just doing these practices of non-reacting to things, not reacting so much, and feeling good no matter what by just doing things in my everyday life. Things just gradually started. I lost interest in a lot of those things, right? I lost interest in social media, just was boring to me. Like I didn't even do Snapchat. Like I had all those things and it was like all friendly stuff. It was my family, like nothing against them. It was boring to me. Like I found myself not interested anymore. So Instagram died off for me. So for me, like watching things, like I barely even watch TV anymore. So like that's kind of like how that happened. But I do. I'm always on TikTok because I post on here a lot. I make meditate. I'm constantly on TikTok all the time, and I do find myself. I hate when it does that. It pauses because my phone's dying, and so for that now I'm more so like no. I'm anytime I find myself scrolling, I stop it and I say I'm going to do a meditation instead. I would rather just walk throughout my house and do a meditation than scroll and useless scrolling, right? Right? Because I'd rather meditate because it's helping me be calm. It's helping me stay calm. It's helping me keep my energy clean to allow what's actually meant in. So instead of doing useless scrolling, I'm gonna calm my mind. I'm gonna listen to a beat. And I don't care if I'm just walking through my house right now. I'm gonna walk through my house and listen to a beat. Or I'll do a little workout or something, right? It's when I stopped watching. Did you really get alignment? I probably did as well. I was never a big TV person anyway. I was always somebody that could sit in silence. Like I could just sit there. Like people would be like, "You're weird. You're just sitting there. You're not doing anything." And to me, like I'd be like, "I don't know. I could always just sit with my own thoughts." That's addicting too. That's addicting too, Caro, because it's like we're searching still for more information. But I think that's part of the process too. And and then you find stuff that you resonate with, and you're like, okay, like I know what I can like watch and what I can't watch, right? It's like a little bit of a part of the process because you're understanding this and you're building the belief in that you create your own reality, right? Like I feel like that's why I would listen to like Joe Dispenza, Bob Proctor, Wayne, and all Neville and Joseph, because they were helping me build the belief that I do create my own reality. There's nothing better than that, Sunset. There's nothing better than that. Yes, it is. It is about balance. It's about balance in your everyday life, and it's about balance in your like emotions as well. They're my favorite days, which most of my days are pretty much like that, choosing, and that's why I said like it is like a thing where it's like what would be best for me to do right now. I noticed that the more that I plan things, it causes resistance. So I've really been not planning really much of anything, like really trying to live in the present moment as much as possible. Which for me, I was always a planner. I always planned everything. Everything was always just very like that. So, but it feels more freeing to not do that. I have less resistance. The new beat, BB. The new beat is my son's beat. He made that beat. So yeah, I mean I actually really like it, but I understand not everyone's gonna like those crazy beats. Like some people like a more quiet meditation, where some people like the beats because like for me it catches my ear, so it's like keeps me listening to the actual sound, right? Honestly, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I don't want to listen to the beat. I just want just fan sound or just like a wave sound. And sometimes I need something like a beat, like as I'm doing something, right? Yeah, like it just catches my ears. So like I'm focused on this beat. So I'm literally not thinking. I'm actually humming to the beat in my mind, and I'm moving to the beat in my house as I'm doing things. So it's got all my attention. Now, BB, BB, you can't hurt my feelings. Listen, I always say, like, not everybody's gonna like everything you post. Not everybody's gonna like everything you do. Not everybody's gonna understand you. That's life. That is life. I think the sooner we can accept that not everybody's gonna get you, not everybody's gonna understand you, not everybody's gonna love everything you do, not take things personally so much. I had somebody post to me. I woke up out of bed this morning and I went on my phone and somebody posted a not very kind comment on my TikTok, which I barely get any of these, but it wasn't very nice. And I read it and I said, it's so funny because I read it and automatically was like, the old me would have said something, even just like, oh, I hope that made you feel better. But I didn't. I was like, you know what? I laughed at it and I just blocked the person. Like, and that was it. Right. But you just learn not to like, you just understand, like, you just don't take it personally. And you just know it's literally not, it has nothing to do with me. That comment had nothing to do with me at all. Because then 5 more people gave me amazing comments after that, right? Ride with the inner spirit. Sometimes you want to. Yeah, that's what it is, alignment. It's so true because, like, in some moments, I'm like, I'm like, it's mostly in the morning. In the morning, I hold resistance. I have resistance in the morning. So for me, I need to be quiet. I need to not listen to anything. If anything, I'm going to listen to just like a fan noise and just move slower. And then slowly I'll build the momentum up slowly to like, okay, now I'm going to listen to a beat or something. And then I start getting my energy back up. And then, all right, now what am I going to do? I'm going to go take a ride, get what I need to get. So that's how I do that's how I am in the morning. I hold resistance. They're heavy. My mornings are heavy. So I slowly get myself out of it by moving slower, breathing slower, listening to a soft sound. And then the momentum starts to pick up. And then I'm like, all right, now I'm going to like maybe listen to some of my affirmations or something like that. Mm-hmm. Not taking things personal is ultimate growth. Yes, it is, Mariam. Yes, it is. And, like at first, it takes a little bit of practice, but I think as soon as you realize it's not about you, that releases all resistance in that moment. And not only that, but just having a little bit of a compassion for people that don't get it, that don't understand. Like that, the energy we're sending out, we're getting back all the time. Like some people just don't get that, right? They don't know about energy. Yeah, so if someone say it's only depending on how you react to it, Caro. Like how you react to it in that moment, or how you am I going to react by getting upset and being mad at this comment, or am I just going to sit back and like be like, oh no, that doesn't bother me, and be unbothered by it, like it doesn't affect me at all, right? And kind of what I just said there, yeah, you have compassion for that person that doesn't understand how energy works, but you move on from it. So it's not about, it doesn't mean things in your life reality are never going to happen. It's how you're responding to them in the moment. right? Because if you react, then you keep experiencing it over and over again. So hopefully that makes sense a little bit. That's how you start to see your reality change, because you don't really experience stuff like that as much. And when it does happen to you, you see it differently now. I know that's a very, I think at first you think everyone's you pushed out and you're like, what the heck, right? But the more you do the energy work and the more you practice this, it starts to clean up, and things start falling from your life. So things that, because your energy's raising. So things that used to like be a part of your life, they kind of fade out of your life. And I think that everyone you pushed out starts to make sense later as you start doing the meditations and practicing non-reaction. You're like, okay, now I get it. Now I see, right? It's really just like you're a product of your environment, to make it simple. Everyone as you pushed out, you're basically a product of your environment. So you start doing this inner work, right? And that's why your life gets so quiet. That's why you're like, what the heck? Because you're cleaning up your energy, but you're still kind of in your old reality, but you're not at the same time. Does that kind of make sense as time goes by? And I always say, Caro, is that you're always learning. Like you're never going to stop learning this. And that's why it's so important to keep practicing settling yourself down into the present moment, right? And don't even get anxious about that, because you're literally always going to be expanding, always going to be growing and learning. All right, I think I'm going to jump off, guys, for the night. And I'll be back, probably be back on tomorrow at some point. Yeah. And it's not even dream about finding people, because they find you, you find each other. It's like, oh, it's very natural, right? Like even all of us here, we all just kind of connected. It just happened. It was just very natural, and everything just kind of unfolded. So it's almost like, so a good example of that, guys, is like how, you don't have to ever find anyone. They kind of just come to you. Is about, I used to do all kinds of Facebook groups. I used to sell products and stuff like that, and never really resonated with it at all. But it was me going through the process of jumping timelines, and I would be like reaching out to people, and I never liked it. I don't reach out to anyone now because I'm my true self now. So I look at it as people, if they resonate with what I have to say, they'll stay. And if not, they won't. And that's as far as it goes to me. Like I don't reach out. I don't beg for anyone to follow me. I don't beg for anyone to understand this or understand me, right? You either do or you don't, and it's all good, right? All right, everyone, have a really good night. I'm going to jump off here, and I'll post this live again on YouTube. I think I have 2 behind that I have to post on live. But everybody have a really good night. Thanks for jumping on. And I will see you guys probably tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow at some point. Thanks again for your help too, guys. Have a great night.